24 hours with the Steam Deck. That's where we're at. 24 hours. Today we're going to brew some coffee. I have the blend here, but I have my buddy shop's signature blend. So it's been a while since I've had their signature blend. We're going to go for it today. I got the Steam Deck OLED after selling the Steam Deck LCD, I want to say probably 6 months ago. My original intention for selling the Steam Deck LCD was that I never used it. And by never, I mean I truly never used it. And so when I thought, cool, I got the extra few $100, I think I sold at the right time, if I'm being honest with you. Because I probably would have lost money if I tried to sell it now. I sold the Steam Deck LCD, Steam Deck LCD with a Steam Deck dock, which turns out is still the same as it is now. So, you know, whatever. But when I bought the Steam Deck dock originally, I bought it at full price. And now we're at a price that is more affordable, I would say. So, I know. I made a whole video about how I'm not going to get the Steam Deck. I'm not going to get the Steam Deck, and it seems like I failed. Well, I'm just a normal guy. I make plenty of decisions that I would consider to be impulsive. And one of those decisions that was impulsive was to have a conversation around a specific piece of hardware, the Steam Deck, which I was considering to be not worth it. I was wrong. It may not be worth it to some people, but to me, this will be good, actually. It's very worth it. So let's first purge some of the coffee beans from my last coffee that I had. Dump it in here. All right, signature. Smells good. It's probably gonna taste great. I have been playing one game on the Steam Deck this time around. The first time I tried to play Steam Deck, it wasn't the best experience. I was trying to play Final Fantasy 15, and I was playing games on the Steam Deck when it first launched. When the Steam Deck first launched, it wasn't necessarily the best when it came to optimization. The games were still trying to figure out how they were going to run on this machine, and the developers were still developing for it. Now that we're well into the life cycle of this machine, and we're seeing that portable PCs, Steam Deck, Asus ROG Ally, Lenovo Legion, we see that this is a very, very viable way to play. And someone in Discord, forgive me since I've forgotten your name, mentioned that this new portable PC thing that's happening, that seems to be sweeping the gaming world, seems to be really a very, very good option when it comes to people like myself, who are just being introduced to this very idea of PC gaming. I've never gamed on PC before. I had a Zephyrus G14, whatever it is. I had one of those, the laptop, and it was cool, except I realized that buying a gaming laptop was probably not the best decision when it came to getting into PC gaming, because I bought the laptop because I've always owned laptops. I am a Mac user that uses MacBook Pros, and MacBook Pros are very, very well optimized to run without a power source. They just run off battery power, and they do a very, very good job at that. Macs in general do a very good job at that. The Zephyrus G14, whatever, dude. I can't keep up with all the different naming things. It did not do a good job at all. I had to plug that sucker in, and it sounded like a freaking jet engine every time I used it, whereas my MacBook Pro was very quiet. Also, I realized that in my last video, I actually had an overhead cam for the unboxing. And now I don't have an overhead cam, but in editing that video, I realized that the overhead cam was actually really nice to look at for making coffee. And so let me know, because I do listen to you guys. I have the hat mic again because I thought this whole time my super expensive, like absurdly expensive boom mic that I'm a huge fan of, this guy, I set it up, have all the external recordings. I thought that it sounded better, at least to me. But multiple people have said that they enjoy the sound of this lav mic on my hat, which I always thought was just a really good stopgap between incredible audio and bad in-body audio, which I'm trying to avoid by using these pieces of hardware. But you guys are like, no, dude, the hat mic is freaking the best way to go about it. Even my wife was like, oh yeah, it's great, because even though the audio may sound better on something like a boom mic, the hat audio is more realistic and sounds a little bit more real versus the highly produced boom mic that you have. So, oh, cool. I know nothing when it comes to this whole thing. So I also want to know, do you guys like the overhead cam? It's just my phone. It's not anything special, at least for now. And if you do like the overhead cam, let me know, because I just freed up a whole boom arm in making the switch from boom mic to hat mic. Continuing on, back to the Steam Deck. I have only been using one game for this current testing. I'm not returning this thing. I like it way more this time around because my intention with it is to start to build my gaming library that I will eventually have for PC gaming. I do want to enter into the PC gaming world. I want to experience it because I have kind of grown tired of the offerings that Xbox has for me, and the next iteration to Xbox would be PC gaming. And so if I'm no longer going to be PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo, and I'm going to be PlayStation, Nintendo, PC, I think that would be a really awesome way to go about things. Might as well start and get my feet wet with the Steam Deck, because I think that the Steam Deck actually does PC gaming in a handheld form factor the best out of the three, the Steam Deck, Legion, and the Ally, at least based on all of the different reviews that I've seen. And by best, I don't mean performance, because performance, I think, often gets misunderstood for necessity. Good performance doesn't mean good gaming experience by any stretch. In fact, even poor performance still can yield a really good gaming experience. The Nintendo Switch. We all know that the Nintendo Switch has very, very poor performance when it comes to gaming. It's not bad performance by any stretch, but the gaming that you get on the Nintendo Switch is outdated, is at times like oddly poor performance. Like with Super Mario RPG, as I stated in Cup, I think it was 32, I said that this game is great, it's a lot of fun, and it certainly is remastered well, but for some reason, it still chugs at times. Why would a game like Super Mario RPG, a remake of a Super Nintendo game that just has better textures, why is that chugging? It shouldn't chug. Let me get another coaster. And so that would be considered poor performance, but it's still fun nonetheless. Let's taste this signature. Clean, real clean. I think there's an Ethiopia in there. There has to be. There has to be an Ethiopia. I'm going Ethiopia. Yeah, there's going to be some sort of Ethiopia. What do we have? We have dark chocolate, almond, and balanced. Does it say what's in it, though? It's just signature. I am going to have to ask my brother what signature has in it, because yes, that is for sure Ethiopia. It has to be. So just a bunch of things talking about their commitment. Great work, inspires us. Great. I just want information of like what varietals are in there. It's absolutely Ethiopia. I'm going to Ethiopia, Colombia, if I'm going to be honest. Yeah, Ethiopia, Colombia. Continuing back. Great performance doesn't necessarily mean great experience or the capability for great performance. Another thing that I can refer back to is something like the Xbox. For some, like myself, they find that the Xbox is ended up to be a powerhouse, yet the games available on it aren't necessarily exclusives, right? We're sticking to exclusives, aren't necessarily something that is particularly compelling, okay, versus, you know, other consoles like Nintendo and PlayStation. And I know someone's going to get all riled up and be like, no, they're not actually, because people who watch these videos to criticize me usually don't stick around for a full cup of coffee brewing. So I've figured out the trick to get rid of haters. And so, yes, I understand that, you know, liking the Nintendo Switch over an Xbox seems sacrilegious, but, you know, it isn't. It's preference. And so the Ally is far better at performance than the Steam Deck. And the Legion is even better than both of those when it comes to performance. But the internals of it all, the UI, the clunkiness, that is just a nightmare. And I know someone was like, dude, you can just install SteamOS on these and just run SteamOS and it runs perfectly fine. The thing that I, as someone who's been on console for 20 years, if not longer, actually, realistically, much longer, since I've been playing Super Nintendo since the 90s, so I've been on, let's go 30 years of gaming on console, and very, very little gaming on a PC, so to speak. Certainly not Windows. I played WoW on my Mac, Diablo on my Mac, pretty much all Blizzard games on my Mac. First-person shooters, I played Medal of Honor and Call of Duty on my Mac. But I haven't been into the traditional sense of PC gaming like you would expect because I run Mac. So the idea of booting into it, figuring out some drivers, changing stuff around, reinstalling, installing, adjusting, doing this, that's something I'm super unfamiliar with. And when it comes to an experience that I want to have with a video game, I want to be able to turn on the system, press a button, it turns on, and then all I have to do is press a couple other buttons, and we should, I've been in the menus here, oh look, I can go back to it, boom, I'm in Resident Evil 4. We're good to go. That is the kind of experience that I'm looking for. And I just press the power button, and it's going back to sleep, and I'm setting it on my desk, and everything's good. Like, that is why the Steam Deck, for me, is so overwhelmingly compelling. I know that the Ally and the Legion can do similar things. The Legion has these crazy Joy-Con style things with like a mouse that you can do this. I have no interest in all that rigmarole. I love using that word. The idea of, you know, oh, look at all these different features. I think we learned with Starfield that features mean nothing. It's all practicality and usability of those features. Are they things that you're actually going to use past the initial novelty period? Because if a feature exists that you aren't actually going to use, that feature should not be considered when you're going to purchase a product. The Joy-Cons being removed from the sides, or the whatever they're calling them, being removed from the sides of a pocket PC or a handheld PC or whatever you want to call it. That sounds awesome. Look at that innovation. It's insane. I'm never going to use that. And so then I start to think, well, did I just purchase a device, or I didn't purchase the Lenovo, I have no interest in doing it. I think that at this point, the only way that I would look deeper into the Lenovo is if it was sent to me. And Lord knows they're not going to send it to some dude rambling for 25 minutes while drinking a cup of coffee. Why would anyone do that? At any rate, I don't find, you know, like if I was to get a Lenovo, if I was to have that specific piece of hardware, I then wonder, like, did I just purchase a piece of hardware that now has an introduced point of failure that the other two don't have, which is a modular system that can break because the rail system is not as secure as having a unibody design? Sure. These things have failing parts, and replacing one side of it may be cheaper than going in and replacing the whole thing. But as we've seen with how Steam has created the Steam Deck, they've created it to be able to be repaired. They've created it to be able to upgrade things. I just watched online, someone upgraded the SSD like that. It's a piece of cake. Take off the case, take out the SSD, put in the new one, install a couple things, and you're good to go. Like, that's the kind of usability that I think should exist in something like this. Because chances are, if you're a PC gamer, with the exception of a few, PC gamers aren't wildly interested in spending $600 on a piece of hardware such as a Steam Deck or $700 or $800 on an Ally or a Legion when their primary gaming device is multiple thousands of dollars, and that money that they would purchase these pieces of hardware with would be probably better used upgrading parts on their already pretty awesome but always needing more PC rigs. Like, it just doesn't make sense for anyone other than a creator to have a PC and a Steam Deck. I understand that people will do that, but as a traditional PC gamer goes, if I was a PC gamer, the Steam Deck would hold almost no value to me because I'm already used to sitting in that kind of environment at a desk, playing video games, running my games through whatever it may be. We're good to go. Whether it's Steam, Epic, or whatever it may be too, right? The launchers also make a difference because the Steam Deck, though it can run other things, it's really designed for Steam's launcher. Ally is made to run all the launchers in one place, but like, why, right? Like, why would I want... I can see how people having games in all of them, like, you can't get Kingdom Hearts on Steam, but you can get Kingdom Hearts on Epic. I can see how that would be somewhat attractive or compelling as an offer, but really Steam does hold the market when it comes to the launcher. They have so many games. It's unreal how many games Steam has. It's crazy. And I have purchased maybe 6. I do not have a illustrious Steam library. I certainly don't have an Epic one. The only Epic game I have is Fortnite. And Kingdom Hearts I own already on my PlayStation. So back to the point, which was these consoles, these systems, they're not designed for the PC gamer. Why would they be? Like, it doesn't make sense. They're designed for people like me who are one of two, wanting to dabble and experience some of the games that exist on PC, or people who are like, I have no interest in buying a PC, but I want to play certain games that aren't available on console. Let me get a Steam Deck, right? And of course, there's the small percentage of individuals who own a PC who are also like, I want a Steam Deck because that gadget seems cool, because that's certainly what it would be to them. This is truly, by definition, a portable PC, but by the way I look at it, it is PC gaming in the form factor of console gaming. That is really compelling to me as I look deeper into it, and I am just here to enjoy playing video games as a whole. And for me, this is truly also a gateway into the PC gaming without having to wait till I build a rig to experience some games. It is an investment. Yes, I have a Steam Deck that can run PC games at medium graphics pretty much across the board stably. I don't have a gaming PC yet, but it will happen, and that will be an adventure in and of itself. And so this is a very, very good introduction to what I'm going to experience down the line at a much greater capacity. Yes, there's no mouse and keyboard, it's controller, but I'm a controller gamer as it stands now, so the chances of me going mouse and keyboard right out the gates would be pretty low as it stands. There aren't many games that I want to play that would require of me mouse and keyboard inputs only. There are a couple that I think I might have to, really, really start to learn how that whole thing works and try to get into it, but those, I'm not in a rush, right? I want to try Valorant. That seems like a fun game, but again, not in a rush because I don't play shooters that often other than Fortnite. I guess Modern Warfare 3. So I guess that's not true. I play shooters now. Calls it as I sees it. I play shooters now. It's fine. JD, it's okay. You can play shooters. But controllers are the way to go about it. I'm so happy I didn't impulsively sell off every single controller I owned because I've set up my Steam Deck dock to have the adapter from the 8-bit Do Ultimate controller, the Bluetooth one. So one is X input, which is the USB, which is directly connected to the dock, and the other is switch. So now I have this controller on my desk that can go and do both. Very convenient. Very convenient. I don't have to do much switching around or Bluetooth or anything like that. It's ready to go. I do like that. And I have been playing with the settings with the dock plugged into my LG C2 with HDMI and trying to play stuff like Resident Evil. Resident Evil 4 has been a lot of fun. A lot of fun. I haven't played a game like that before. It is terrifying. Great in the handheld form factor. But also, what I like about it is it's different from what I'm used to, but it runs really well. I think the way that I look at it, and this isn't a power comparison because I certainly don't know the specs, is the gaming experience reminds me of that of something like a PS4, PS4 Pro. And some people will be like, that's crap. Dude, it's a handheld PC for $600, like, or $550, I suppose, $549. Like, what do you expect, man? Like, you expect this to run like a PlayStation 5? Like, nah, dude, it's not going to. PlayStation 5 can't even run like a PlayStation 5 in portable mode. Shots fired. Xbox certainly can't run super well over the cloud. We've tried it. I have a device. It's not particularly good, I don't think. Let me know in the comments if you want me to make a full cup about it. It's this. Is the ABXY Loot, L-U-T-E, Abixi Loot, whatever they want to call it. They sent it to me to review. I talked about reviewing this with them and looking into it like 3 months ago, and it finally showed up at my doorstep, and I don't know what to do with it because my whole crap's changed. So if you want to know more about this, let me know, because I'm not going to make a cup about it unless you guys ask for it. And also, let me know if you guys want that overhead cam, because I'll put it back just for the coffee making portion. I don't mind doing that. I really like making these videos. I really do. I do. And to those of you who are like, man, I want the short, produced things. I'm not going to say never, because Lord knows every time I say never, the next day I just change everything. But for right now, this is like so nice. This is the representation. This is absolutely the visual representation of what drinking a cup of coffee with a friend looks like. We're just here to hang out and talk. And like, that is so needed for me. And in the evenings, we're going to play video games on stream right here on the same channel. It's as simple as that. As simple as that. If this grows to something great, rad. If it stays where it is, awesome. And if it falls apart, oh well. Let's hang out, talk about video games, play them together, and have a good time. Sound good? Awesome. Well, I'm done. So I'm going to go play some Resident Evil 4 on my Steam Deck. Have some fun. And I'm sure I'm just going to talk about it. Just absolutely. My mouth doesn't work because of coffee. All right. You guys are awesome. Take it easy. Shakas all around. You. But most of all, happy gaming.